Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Look, Wrestling 101, classes in session. Pay attention to the teachings, that's from Andrew and Derek. I mean, these guys making a killing with no competition. Dynamic duo better than the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys. Everybody make some noise, mess with them, you get destroyed. They cannot be beat, take a seat. Watch them do they thing on the MIC. Face defeat, they cannot be seen like JC. Oh my goodness, it's a killing spree.
This is wrestling's richest prize, the founding father of change, Mr. Darius Carter. You're listening to Wrestling IQ 101 V1 DC. You're welcome.
Hey everyone, this is Andrew from Wrestling IQ 101. When I'm not hosting our podcast, I'm usually at collarandelbowbrand.com. That's right, Collar and Elbow is the only place that combines wrestling with street attire. And I know what you're thinking, I want to look fashionable too. And I also want to save 10%, so head over to collarandelbowbrand.com and use the promo code WIQ101 and look fashionable and save some money. And now, on with the show.
Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Wrestling IQ 101. I'm Andrew, and you can follow Wrestling IQ 101 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And today I'm joined with the president of UWA Elite, Dave Sawn. Man, how's it going?
Oh, it's going good. It's going good. How are you?
Good, Dave. Now, an impressive card this Saturday for UWA Elite, setting the standard. Let's talk about first the induction of John Rome. I mean, this is pretty big, right?
Yeah, I mean, this one means a lot to me. I've known John since he first started in the business when, he was probably either 15 or 16. When I first met him, he was part of the ECPW Junior Division, which was a division that they ran for wrestlers under the age of 17. And I was working for ECPW back then, and John was part of the junior division, and you know, he was great back then. And when I started running my own shows, I brought him over, and we've been good friends for a very long time. You know, I was at his wedding. I was at his brother's wedding. You know, I love the Romes, and this is going to be special on Saturday.
Yeah, you know, I can't wait to see him be inducted as well. Another match that I was looking forward to seeing is the Ultimate Turmoil. I mean, how big is that?
Ultimate Turmoil. This happens every year, and every year it's crazier. And this one's going to be no exception. And it's a good lineup this year in the Ultimate. I mean, it's always a good lineup in Ultimate Turmoil, but this year especially, it's a really good mix of veterans and young talent. Magic is in it.
Yeah. Cypress
is in it. Hedges, Corey Dillinger, Michael Massacre, Mike Dell, Clay Sawyer, and Chris Volta. So, you know, you have pretty much the two ends of the wrestling spectrum. You have the ultimate veteran in Magic, and then you have Chris Volta, who's, you know, pretty much making, or at least his Holy Trinity debut. He did a couple shows for us as part of the Middlesex County Fair last summer, and I was very impressed by him. And, you know, now he's going to get his shot on the bigger stage. So it'll be interesting to see how he does. Yeah,
I mean, well, the cool thing about that is anybody can win this from any spectrum of the experience level, like you said. So that is kind of cool that you're giving opportunities to both veterans and younger guys as well.
And it's a lot to do with the luck of the draw. Mm-hmm. You know, if you draw one or two in this thing, you're in for, nobody's ever done that. And, you know, you pretty much have to win 6 consecutive matches, which is a tall order. So, you know, the later draws definitely benefit the people in this match.
Absolutely. You know, another match that I'm looking forward to is Robbie Roller versus Nicholas Kaye. I mean, two guys at the peak right now.
Yeah, I mean, Robbie Roller had a hell of a year last year.
Yeah.
And he came really, really close to walking out of Last Breath as the UWA Elite Champion. Came up a little bit short.
Mm-hmm.
And Nicholas Kaye is a constant professional. I mean, Nicholas Kaye always has good matches. He wins more than he loses, which is what you want in your professional wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a good match, and the winner is going to face KTB down the road for the Ironman Championship.
Yeah, is that? I mean, if you win, does that really mean you win if you have to face KTB? Because I wouldn't want to face him.
I mean, you win a title shot, but
Yeah, at what cost, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, KTB looming in the future for somebody. I mean, wow, I mean, that's one guy that I don't want to mess with for sure. Another guy I wouldn't want to mess with is Brandon Kirk. He's been on a tear all over the place in Synergy, CCW, and he's going up against the Heart and Soul and Sean Damage McNelis. I mean, you can't get any different from those two guys, can you?
No. I mean, they are pretty much, like you said, the polar opposites of each other. Mm-hmm. And Damage was another guy that had a big last breath at the end of last year. He won the golden ticket.
Yeah. He's
able to cash in for any UWA Elite Championship match anytime he wants. And Brandon Kirk at last breath had that vicious fight with Eric Corvus. Kirk lost that match. He's going to be looking to pick up some momentum again. And Damage is going to be looking to continue their momentum. And whoever wins that match is going to get to pick their opponent for UWA Elite Homecoming in North Brunswick next month.
Wow, I mean, they could pick almost anybody, right? I mean...
Yeah, I can honestly say I have no idea what the winner is going to, what they're going to do. If they're going to go for a championship match, if they're going to look to settle a score, I don't know. Yeah. And it'll be interesting to see.
Do you think, Sean Damage last year, he was kind of down on himself. He had to find his footing. Do you think he'll have to find that aggression again to try to beat Brandon this time?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I hope that Damage kind of found whatever it was that he was missing. Mm-hmm. He said he won that big ladder match at Last Breath. Mm-hmm. So that briefcase should hopefully be a pretty big confidence booster.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I would never, Sean Damage McNelis, he's been wrestling for a long time. He's a multiple-time UWA Elite Champion. I would never count him out.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, you'll have to wait and see, of course, this Saturday at the Holy Trinity Church. Another match I've been looking forward to seeing, of course, is the Brotein pack against Full Metal Jacket. I mean, Bull Metal Jacket. That's going to be a crazy matchup. 4 All-Stars in one match.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a big match for the tag team division, mm-hmm. and that's important to me. I've always prided myself on UWA Elite having a great tag team division. There's a lot of companies out there that kind of don't focus on tag team wrestling, and not just on an indie wrestling level, pretty much on every level of professional wrestling, the tag team divisions kind of get the shaft sometimes. Mm-hmm. And, this, in my opinion, is a main event quality match. And, I think anytime that you see the tag team titles defended in a match that big, that high profile, it's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, and what a shot for redemption for the Brotein pack. I mean, they can reclaim the tag team titles, or this could be a big notch in the win for Bull Metal Jacket as well.
Yeah, I mean, Brotein pack is, arguably the the biggest tag team in UWA Elite history.
Mm-hmm.
And, since they've gone their separate ways, TJ Blade has become UWA Elite champion. Mike Seaway is the reigning I champion. They're very accomplished both as a tag team and as singles wrestlers. So yeah, if Bull and Tech pick up this win, it's going to be a big win for them. And if the Brotein pack wins, they're going to win the tag team titles. That goes without saying. So, it's a high profile win for both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking about tag team matches, the Severed faces the Stepdads versus Forbidden Jungle. I mean, Forbidden Jungle is kind of a wild card in there.
Yeah, they're going to be making their UWA Elite debut this Saturday in South River. Again, two young up and coming guys, and I think they're going to turn a lot of heads on Saturday. I really do. I think a lot of people are going to be impressed by them. And, Severed has been, in a lot of focus with Joey Adams, of course. And then the Stepdads, who were voted by the fans as last year's newcomers of the year. They've got a huge following already. And it's going to be interesting to see this one.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to put your money on one of those teams, who do you think you have on that one?
If I had to, I think I'd have to go with the Stepdads.
Really?
Yeah, I have to go with the Stepdads. Not taking anything away from the other two teams, but Forbidden Jungle, this is going to be their debut, so it's kind of hard to, pick them as the favorites in their first match. And the Severed, I don't know, they're a good team. But, I just I think that the Stepdads are the team to beat in that match.
Sure. I mean, I think people are going to have to tune in this Saturday for that one for sure. Definitely a can't miss matchup. Also, Miles Thomas has got himself into a little bit of a pickle, right?
Yeah, as he tends to do.
What will he be doing that night at Setting the Standard?
Well, Miles Thomas is going to be facing professional boxer Anthony Patella in a boxing match.
Wow.
And this is one of those things where you just kind of sit back and watch things unfold. And I'm like, okay, so this is a thing that's happening now. This is, Miles Thomas ran his mouth. Did you see the video he posted, basically challenging any athlete?
I did, and I saw the rebuttal by Anthony as well. I mean, I can't believe this is official at UWA Elite.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this is what Miles Thomas had in mind, specifically since he was calling out volleyball players and stuff like that. But I mean, he's going to get punched in the face a lot. And if you want to see Miles Thomas get punched in the face repeatedly, this is the show for you.
There has to be a couple of Miles fans out there that don't want to see this. Right?
If there's Miles fans out there, I haven't met them.
No?
I mean, there's Eddie Thomas fans. His brother has some fans, but I don't know anybody that likes Miles, and that includes Eddie.
Yeah, I mean, Miles, he's Eddie's a little bit, has some more, I guess some manners, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word, but he's a little bit more tolerable, I guess.
Yes.
Oh man! So Miles Thomas has the work cut out for him on Saturday. He might find a way to win, though. Knowing him, he might find a way to pull it off. I mean,
anything is possible. Anything is possible. I mean, a meteor could hit the ring and kill Anthony and somehow miss Miles completely.
I mean,
anything could happen.
He's a beast, right?
I don't know.
Well, we'll have to find out. I mean, absolutely incredible an incredible card at setting the standards. You know, a match that has become personal. You know, the Wretched Bows and Joey Adams. The way last year ended. I mean, this could be the fight of the night. I mean, this is probably going to tell a lot about both men, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is Bowes' first title defense since winning the belt at Last Breath last year.
Yeah.
And here's a little bit of UWA Elite history. This is Bowes' second reign as UWA Elite champion. And not a lot of people actually know that, because the first time he became UWA Elite champion, he ended up losing the title in his first title defense to Eric Corvus. And this is a very different Bowes than back then, but there's no way that that's not sitting in the back of his mind. It's never happened before in UWA Elite. It hasn't happened since that a champion lost the belt in their first title defense. Mm-hmm. And you know he does not want that to happen again. He does not want history to repeat itself. And Joey Adams, he's the former champion. You know, if anybody can take it to Bowes, it's Joey Adams. I wouldn't count Adams out at all. He had a hell of a year last year. You know, he's got the Severed kind of lurking around in the background. He's going to be some top opposition for Bowes. And like you said, this should be the fight of the night. Yeah. In a lot of ways.
You know, I was thinking about both men, Joey Adams cashing in, on TJ Blade and Bowes winning the Crossroad tournaments. I mean, both guys have been feeling that momentum. So the fact that we're really at a crossroads at setting the standards of the first show of the year is pretty interesting, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean it's a big match. It's a unique match. And, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm going to be very, very interested to see obviously, I have a lot invested in who walks out as UWA Elite champion. But
sure.
I'm going to be very curious because, a lot of people have been acting like Bowes is a shoo-in to win this thing. Mm-hmm. And on paper, he might be. But I absolutely would never count out Joey Adams.
Yeah, you can't count out Joey Adams for sure. I was thinking back at Crossroads, these guys were teaming up together. I mean, you talk about foreshadowing for things to come. Now they're going to be feuding with each other over the most prestigious prize in the UWA Elite, arguably, that championship. This is a crazy, crazy ordeal for anybody to look back at, right?
Yeah, I mean, these two are, like you said, they're very similar. They're both kind of on the riding on the dark side of things, mm-hmm. if you will. But this is a lot, and I'm sure that Joey Adams is hearing all the talk about Bowes. A lot of people are kind of writing him off.
Sure.
I've heard a lot of people have come up to me and asked who I think is going to face Bowes for the championship at Homecoming. Who's going to win the Ultimate Turmoil and face Bowes. Mm-hmm. And I've told every single one of them that, they shouldn't be counting out Adams because he's got just as much of a chance as anybody to take that belt. He's done it before. He won it and he held on to it for months at a time, so...
Yeah, you talk about having a will of a champion. Arguably, both men have been in high pressure situations. Bowes held the Ironman championship for so long, and like you just alluded to, Joey Adams holding the UWA Elite Championship in big time matches as well. I mean, this is anybody's game for real, and Homecoming is going to be pretty interesting, knowing that challenger is going to be determined earlier that night, and that challenger is going to be looming against a wounded champion, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
and then, of course, you have Damage with the golden ticket
Yeah.
also looming in the background. You know, there's a lot of X factors.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories going on in foreshadowing in this situation that even we can't predict just yet. We have to live it, and that's the exciting part, that we have to get through these stories and see where the year takes us. I mean, this is only the first show of the year, so setting the standard is an appropriate name for that.
Yeah, well, I mean that's why we call it that, because it sets the bar for the rest of the year. It sets the standard for the rest of the season, and we get to kind of gauge, who's going to be doing what this year based on first impressions. It's the thing that's unique about UWA Elite, is that there's a lot of places in wrestling that don't have seasons. And UWA Elite does. So you kind of get a rare opportunity to make a first impression more than once. And you're going to have a lot of guys looking to make a first impression this Saturday in South River.
Yeah, it's you talk about the perfect ideal event, like you said, making a first impression, honoring impressions that are just that are passing us by, that are becoming Hall of Famers. I mean, just a well-rounded event. I mean, from the past, the present, to the future, setting the standard is definitely a unique show. Not that all the UWA Elite shows aren't unique, but this is going to be the start of something good, I have a feeling.
Yeah, I agree. And, if you're available on Saturday, the show is going to be at Holy Trinity Church in South River, New Jersey, 90 Leonard Dine Avenue. Tickets are available right now on UWAElite.com. You can get discount tickets for $15 on UWAElite.com. You can get family 4-packs. You can get 4 tickets for $50, which is a great deal. And we're also, for a couple days, still selling season passes, which gives you admission to every show this year at Holy Trinity Church. Those are available on UWAElite.com right now. So, head on down, get your tickets in advance, because we're definitely expecting, a full house on Saturday. So you'll definitely want to get your tickets in advance. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and the best part about that, there are fans that actually do the season pass. They show up to every show. I mean, these are not just people who just come in sporadically. These are some diehard UWA Elite fans, and you're going to be one of them after attending one of these shows for sure. You won't want to miss the hard-hitting action from all the UWA Elite Allstars. Dave, I mean, what an exciting day that will be for you. A little stressful, right?
Oh yeah, more than a little. It's gonna be it's gonna be a long day, but a rewarding day.
Yeah,
it always is. And like I said, the Hall of Fame ceremony for John Rome is going to be very special for myself and for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are looking forward to that. In addition to the rest of the show, it's going to be a special night. It's going to be a good night.
Yeah, and you have to be there in person to see the twists and turns of the UWA Elite as they go through the year. And why not kick it off this Saturday with setting the standard at 6:30 p.m. at the Holy Trinity Church in Sayreville, New Jersey.
South River, New Jersey.
South River, I'm sorry.
No problem.
Where can people get you, Dave, on social media if they want to connect? If they can't find the links that you just gave them.
Well, I mean, you can find me pretty much everywhere on social media under Dave Sawn, or you can follow UWA Elite on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. It's UWA Elite on everything, and then of course UWAElite.com is the place to get your advance tickets, to get your family 4-packs, to get your season passes. They're all available right now on UWAElite.com.
Absolutely. And for me, this is Wrestling IQ 101. I'm Andrew. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, at Wrestling IQ 101. You can subscribe right here on YouTube or the B Plus Player Network. Dave, thanks again for taking up the time, and we'll see you Saturday.
Yep, thanks for having me, man. Looking forward to seeing you this weekend.